Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled, People Will Only Love You How They Want. People are only ever going to love you the way they know how, not the way you need, not the way you imagine, not the way you beg for in your quiet moments. They love you with the broken, crooked tools life handed them. And if you think you can change that by loving them harder, you're lying to yourself. It'll break your heart when you realize this. It'll rip you open, especially when it's someone you thought got you. But the faster you accept it, the less time you waste bleeding out over it, because no matter how much you want them to love you a certain way, they won't, unless that's already in them. Relationships aren't just about feelings, they're about fit. Sometimes the fit is there, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it could be there if you're both willing to work. But don't kid yourself. A lot of the time it isn't. You're not a bad person for needing certain things. You're not too much. You're not needy. You're honest. And you better stay honest with yourself because if you don't, you'll end up stuck in a relationship that feels more like a slow death than love. Love doesn't have to be perfect, but it sure as hell has to be right. You can't control how someone loves you. You can only control how long you tolerate being loved the wrong way. And if you cling to some fantasy of fixing it, thinking you're just one conversation or one sacrifice away from getting the love you need, you're already halfway to losing yourself. Control freaks don't fix relationships, they kill them. I've seen it. I've been it. When you try to force love into a box, it suffocates. You end up micromanaging affection, arguing over every tiny shift in tone or attention, until there's nothing left but resentment and bruises where trust used to be. And when you start feeling crazy because someone swears they love you, but it doesn't feel like love, that's your gut trying to save your ass. Listen to it. Paul Stanley said it perfectly. When someone tells you they love you, ask them, what does that mean to you? Not because you doubt them, but because you need to know if their version of love is something you can actually survive on. Some people's love is all condition, all ego, all fear. You deserve better than that. I've been there. Told women I loved them, heard it back, and then lived through the slow realization that their love was not my love, that what filled them drained me, that what they called care felt like absence to me. And that's when I learned love isn't a universal language. It's 1,000 messy dialects, and if you don't understand each other's, you're screwed. And don't even get me started on how dudes barely tell each other they love each other anymore because they're terrified of looking weak. That's another disaster for another day. But just know, hiding love doesn't make you strong. It makes you alone. When you feel that itch that something's off, when you notice the little moments where it feels like you're asking for air, say something, loud, early, before you talk yourself into accepting a version of love that leaves you hollow. Because once you start swallowing your needs to keep the peace, you've already lost the war. And peace bought at the price of self-betrayal is not peace, it's slow erosion. Be with someone who loves you in a way that feeds you, not drains you. If their way of loving isn't yours, but it still fills your soul, fine, stay. Build something out of that. But if it leaves you empty, don't wait for it to get better. It won't. Wanting to be loved a certain way doesn't make you selfish. It makes you awake. It makes you real. It makes you someone who knows that you don't have to settle for almost. Everyone's got preferences, looks, money, ambition, and nobody blinks. But the second you say you need to be loved a certain way, people clutch their pearls and call you demanding. Screw that. You have every damn right to want the kind of love that feels like home, not like you're constantly trying to earn it. So don't waste your time hoping a misfit love will eventually fit. Don't bleed yourself dry over someone who never even learned your language. Find someone who already speaks it fluently. Or better yet, someone who's willing to learn even when it's hard. Your heart deserves that much. At the absolute least, fight for it if it's worth it. Walk away if it's not. Life's too damn short to spend it trying to turn someone's almost love into the real thing. You are not here to be understood. You are not here to wait it out. You are here to be loved properly. Wanting the right kind of love doesn't make you broken. It makes you someone who refuses to live a half-life. Standards aren't selfish. Standards are survival. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moors October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.